It's okay. I got like 20 minutes because I actually promised a little impromptu conference call if anybody else wants to hop on to my team and some ladies who I've met in the last, I don't know, few days who've been watching my stuff on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and all the places who wanted to see like a backstage pass of what I am learning currently. Here's my notebook from the stuff I'm learning, my master nutrition course, master coach, and kind of talking about this portion control master class that I'll be running. They kind of wanted to see it, and that makes sense. You see it before you join and stuff. And my vegan group that's coming up on Monday. Everybody wanted to see all that stuff. And in the meantime, so that's what I got going on in 20 minutes. So I got 20 minutes to run my mouth. And if you guys have questions and stuff, tell me also, because here's what happened is I'm like I want to tell so much stuff. Last night I did a fashion show and I couldn't do it live. I had to record myself on camera, and I recorded another video because I had stuff to say, and Facebook was broken and Instagram was broken. I just wanted to get my word out. And it was funny because I started to get I got 3 people telling me the same thing yesterday. And it was because I've been reaching out to so many people talking about my vegan group. It's 5 days. Hop in the freaking vegan group. We start Monday, and this is going to be something that's totally different than you've ever done. And it's going to be amazing. And people are like, yeah, but you have a ton of discipline. I couldn't do that. I couldn't go a day without meat. Well, I thought that too. And then I have people who are I'm like, you got to do my master class for the portion control. And they're like, yeah, I'm not really good at portions. I'm horrible at portions, but you're so good at it. I'm like, oh my God, you people, you have no idea how much I struggle every friggin' day. And my story of where I came from and how it's taken me time, and I still struggle on the daily. And I wanted to go live. And I was like, I gotta tell my story live. And freaking, I got myself all I put a little makeup on. I sat myself down. I gave my dogs some peanut butter, and so they'd be quiet. And Facebook was freaking broken. And this was at noon yesterday. And I'm I only have noon to 2 when people will actually tune in. And the window was closing. And then I was just freaking out. And then even in the evening, Facebook still wasn't working, and neither was Instagram. And I just had to start talking. So I actually told this story yesterday on YouTube, but I want to tell it again, and I want you guys to see it. And so the first thing I did when I got 3 of the same questions, and I wanted to be girl, you don't know where I came from and what happened to me and all this stuff. And the first thing I did is I wrote down all the weights that I've been over the years and at different points in my life. And it's crystal clear. I don't know. Are you that way? Do you know, when I was this age, I was that much. And I know because I've gone through so many drastic weight gains and one weight loss. And so, when I started out in high school, I was 115 pounds my sophomore year of high school. And, and I jumped to 145 pounds in 6 months. That was 30 pounds I gained in 6 months because I went on study abroad. And I was the shyest person in the world. And my parents were freaked out when I said I wanted to go to a foreign country where they didn't speak English. I mean, I'm sure they spoke some English, but where they spoke primarily Spanish. And I was like, yeah, but I want to go. I need to get out of this town. And, and so I went and I gained 30 pounds because, the dad would always make fun of me when I was speaking in Spanish. And so I just didn't talk, and instead I just ate. And then I got back and I went to college and I gained 10 pounds there. So now I'm up to 155 in a year. And then I went to China on study abroad, freaking noodles and rice everywhere and sauces. And again, do you think I could speak Chinese when I got there? My roommate and we couldn't even communicate for 5 months, and I was only there for 6. And because she didn't speak any English, and I spoke I studied Chinese for 3 years, and then I got there and I was like, wait, what are you saying? Can you repeat that again? And now I wouldn't even know how to ask somebody to repeat. So in China, I gained another 10 pounds in 6 months again. So I went from 115 to 165. That's 50 pounds in a matter of 4 years. And, And then, it didn't get easier. And I tried all the diets, the Weight Watchers, the Atkins, the Paleo, the MyFitnessPal, the South Beach. None of the diets worked for me. I was so convinced that my metabolism was just broken and that there was something wrong with me. And then it was like 2007 or so that I found this book online, and it was like the Eat Clean Diet. The author is Tosca Reno, and it taught me about just like getting rid of all the packaged crap. And I used that, and I went from 160 down to 143 for my wedding weight. Do you all know? Like, you could post it below. My wedding weight. I know my wedding weight. Like, tell me, do you know your wedding weight? Is that like a number you know? Like, I know my wedding weight. It was 143. I had not been in the 140s since I was a junior in high school. And here I was like 28 when I got married. And no, 26 when I got married. And I had one of those moments yesterday where I was like, wait, no, that was this morning. I was like, wait, what's my age? This game says it's for 4-year-olds. How old am I? I'm 37 now. I turned 37 on March 2nd. I have 354 days until my next birthday, according to Alexa. So anyways, 143, I felt my best. Dawn was 148, yes. So I felt my best at 143. We went on our honeymoon. I actually felt good. And then in 2008, 6 months after our wedding, I had this major fall, like a 12-foot fall from this loft. We were house hunting. It's a whole big story. You don't need to hear it at the moment. And I like broke my back. I tore my calf. Everything that I had been doing to lose weight, all the exercise and the eating clean and stuff, that went out the window because I was depressed that I couldn't work out. I couldn't be on a softball team anymore. And my body was in pain, and so I didn't work out, and I ate like crap, and I was depressed, and I ate more, and I ballooned back up to the 160, right? And then pregnancies, 185, breastfeeding. I couldn't let go of the weight because I felt like ravenous every time I breastfed. I breastfed both my boys for like a year, and I'm eating all the food, and every time I would pump at work, I'd be like, I need food, I'm so hungry. And so I could not let go of this weight. And it was like, I'd be like, I just had a baby, and Jackson's like 2. And I'm like, but I just had a baby. And again, I tried all the freaking diets. Like, my mom had us on Weight Watchers since we were like little kids. And, and so I couldn't see past like myself, like all the diets. I would try it. I would last like 2 to 3 days, and I'd be like, screw it, I can't do this, right? Like, it's just too hard. And I'd be like one of those, I'll start again on Monday person. And, and then I had this social anxiety, like where I was so uncomfortable with myself that anytime we would go anywhere, I would eat so I didn't have to talk to people, which when I now realize that's like this pattern that I have. Do you have that pattern? Like, when you go somewhere and you're uncomfortable, you just stand by the buffet and you eat so you don't have to talk to anybody. That was how it was when I lived in Chile and I didn't speak great Spanish, and the host father would make fun of me when I opened my mouth. So I would just sit at the meals and I would eat. And then at night, after everyone was asleep, I'd be going to the pantry and grabbing more food, like American food, because I missed it, like my jar of peanut butter that I brought. And in China, when we'd sit at a meal, like I'd just eat so I didn't have to like talk in Chinese because I didn't want to look stupid. And then when we would go to social things, like I didn't know how to talk to new people because I was so uncomfortable with myself. Like when you have something to say and you're confident, you could talk to people and you could start a conversation based on anything. But when you're uncomfortable with yourself, you really just don't want to talk to anybody. So that's where I've kind of like always been at. And so I would just eat and I would eat. And, and I'd be at like a party thing, like with girlfriends or one of those, like, let's all get together and drink wine or paint things and stuff. And I would be eating. And I know I did this the other day. Like I was at something where like nobody else ate probably half the amount of food that I did. I'm just this like social, like anxiety person and I'm an introvert. I could talk to you guys because all I see is myself. But amongst the crowd of people, I'm a total introvert. I don't want to go out. My boys are kind of the same. They like to stay in their jammies all day here. We draw energy from each other. And I'd be the one who'd eat so much at a party that I would then be the person, oh my God, you guys have to tell me if this is you too. Am I the only one? I would grab the pillow on the couch and put it in front of my belly. And I would sit there on the couch with the pillow in front of my belly so that nobody could see that the rolls in the skin and the discomfort that I was feeling in my jeans, right? And so why did I care so much about being thin though? I've always dieted. My mom's always dieted. My dad's always been yelled at by my mom about dieting, and my sister's always been told she's an actress, come on, you gotta diet. And so that's always been that recording in my head. And I think it's now it's because I want to feel comfortable in front of my husband, right? I want to feel comfortable when I look in the mirror. I don't want to be disgusted by myself, and I will look good in a bikini. I want to be the hot mom. I don't want to be the mom in the one piece on the cruise next week. And so that is important to me. And so, but just nothing has ever worked for me. At that point, nothing had ever worked long term. Fellas, sorry, my dogs. And so I just couldn't stick to anything, and I didn't see truck. Sorry. I couldn't see anything. I couldn't see that I had any capability within myself. There's 43,000 diet books out there. I think I read half of them, and I couldn't do it in my head on my own. Fellas, you guys want cookies? Bribery. And so I also felt like I needed somebody else to be responsible for my diet. If I failed, then it wouldn't be my fault. I needed somebody else to tell me exactly what to do, so that it wasn't me when I failed, and it wasn't my fault. And, and I still thought too that maybe it was in my genes. I don't know. Why does my family all struggle at dieting? I just thought it was my family that when we go to parties, can't control ourselves around food. And, plus I felt like my pregnancy body just had me doomed, and that I just had this crappy metabolism like nobody else, So WTF, right? That's not nice. And so anyways, I used to go to the gym at my work, in the middle of the day, like chronic worker outer, because I thought I needed to burn more calories than I would eat. So I would go to the gym at lunchtime, and every time, and after work too, and I would pass this thing and it said Medi Spa. And I was I don't know what a Medi Spa is, but every single day I'm passing this Medi Spa. And one day I was I'm going to go in there and I'm going to see what that is. And I go in and I was hey, what do you guys do here? And she's oh, take a look at this book. And it has all these pictures of before and afters of these people who had all these procedures. And I'm wow, that's what I need. I don't need to diet. I need somebody to just cut the fat off of me and suck it out of me. And so I asked for consultation. And so I'm sitting there, I'm looking at it's laser lipo. I'm I don't know. I don't like needles. I didn't even have a needle in my back during pregnancy. I had natural pregnancies because I did not want a needle and I did not want an IV. And so that's my fear of needles. And yet this guy brings me into his office, right? You're going to love this. Have you ever had a consult for plastic surgery? They're very convincing. And they convince you that you can't do this on your own. And he says to me, I'm going to take that fat out of your belly and I'm going to put it in your deflated boobs. And I was really? You could do that? I was but what about all this loose skin? He goes, I got a laser for that. I'm going to go in, I'm going to laser it up, and it's going to create all this collagen growth, and it's going to tighten you up. You're going to be perfect. Good to go. So I said, all right, well, I think, how much is this? He says, $5,000. I'm ooh, well, I'm making a 6-figure salary and my husband makes pretty good money. And I don't see any other way out. He said, well, if you sign up today and you put $500 down, then I'll take $500 off. And I was Ooh, that sounds like a deal. Let me text my husband. So I text Jay, I'm getting a consult for laser lipo. Can I do it? And he's like, a what? And I said, okay. He said, okay. He didn't say okay. He didn't say much of anything. He's like, what the hell are you talking about? And I signed up right there on the spot. And I immediately got scared. And yeah, I signed up and I gave him $500. So I wasn't going back. And I still felt that, I couldn't do this on my own anyways. And so, yeah, that left me even worse off. I had so many complications. It didn't turn out good. I look worse than I ever would without it. I've got all these wrinkles and these pockets, and it's a really bad idea. Don't go do that, right? Plus, I had all the needles. I was in a lot of pain. Although I was only in pain for maybe 2 days. I was back to work, like, wearing this thing, and I was, like, leaking, like, smelly formaldehyde fluids, and, like, nobody knew, but I was uncomfortable. There was a moment where I got up out of my bed, and I mean, talk about shame and guilt when I could not even be a mom to my kids for those few days after. And I got out of bed and I need to pee, so I had to unzip this like full body binder, and I unzipped the thing, and boom, I remember the sound as I passed out and I fell on the floor naked, and Jay had to come in and get me off the floor, and I was like freaking out because I had never passed out before. I mean, talk about like really, really bad guilt. And yeah, horrible, horrible, horrible. Regret, shame, and I felt even less love for myself, right? So if you are feeling like you need plastic surgery, please talk to me first. So anyways, I've got like 5 minutes. Hopefully these ladies will realize I'm coming. 4 months later, I saw a Facebook ad in my feed, and it said like 21-day program, eat wine and chocolate, 30-minute workouts from home. There's a shake in here that's going to fix your digestion. And my eyes, like I saw these before and afters, and my eyes just like bugged out, because here I felt like horrible about myself still. And I saw this thing that looked like the perfect solution again. And I was like, oh, that's it. That's what I need. That's what I really needed, right? I should have done this. I wish this had shown up in my freaking Facebook feed 4 months ago when I really needed that. And so it said, go ask your Beachbody coach to set you up or for help. And so I'm like, oh, I don't know any Beachbody coaches. Like, I knew Beachbody because I had all the DVDs in my house anyways. And so I looked at the post, and it said, this post is liked by, you know how it says that on Facebook? Who else liked the post? Bill, who was my college boyfriend, and Mariana, who is the girl who I had just hired in my office as our HR manager, who was starting on Monday. And she had been a coworker of mine. That's where I got her from. She was an old coworker of mine. And so I brought her over, and on Monday when she started, I said, hey girl, I'm not going to my ex-boyfriend. I'm married now, but Bill and I are really close friends now. And I said, hey, I want this thing. I saw your name on it on the Facebook. I was hardly on Facebook. I had never taken a selfie before. I was like, yeah, can I get this? How do I get it? She said, oh, I coach that, Yeah. I said, oh, good. You're a coach. I need a coach. And she said, yeah, I'm not really like running groups or anything, but, email me every night. And I did this thing, and it changed my life. Literally has changed my life. And so I bought this, but here's what happened is I did not buy this thing on the spot. I knew I wanted it. I was excited. I went back to my office at lunchtime on her first day, and she showed me the package, sent me a link, and I went and I set it all up. I chose chocolate shake, right? Because I'm chocolate shake, and I'm ready to check out, and then like dead stop. I couldn't do it. I started to panic and freeze. And even though this package was only $140 and came with fitness and nutrition plan and shakes and my coach, and she was going to check on me every day, $140 to me, I did not feel like I was worth it. And I said to myself, I just spent $4,500 and messed up my body. I cannot spend another $140 on this package on myself. Like, how many diapers could that buy? I felt such guilt that I left the website. I left my cart, and my modern day salespeople do. I got like 5 emails from Beachbody saying, you didn't check out, you left your cart here. Don't you want to check out with your cart? And I went back to her and I was like, I'm freaking out. I can't do this. I can't spend another $140 on myself. I just messed everything up. I spent $4,500 on myself already. And she was like, well, there's a money back guarantee. And I said, what do you mean? She said, well, if it doesn't work for you in 30 days, you can just get your money back. And the program's only 3 weeks. And she said, and if you don't work at this, either if you quit, then you can get your money back. And I said, oh, all right. Well, I guess that makes sense. And if I don't make it, then at least I have you to blame, right? And so I had my coach there that I could blame if I didn't make it, and I had my money back guarantee to fall back on, and I wasn't sure if I could afford the shake, so I decided I was going to drink one every other day so it would last me for 2 months, and that did not happen because the day that I started this program, my entire life changed. But roadblock. Life's not always easy, is it, right? So, I bought this thing, like, another reason why I was holding up was because I bought this thing like a few days after Christmas, right? And so it was like that downtime in the office where everyone has to sit in the office, but nobody's really working. And the classes, it was New Year's Eve, and the classes at my gym were canceled. And so I was like, oh, I'll just do my lifting routine that I did in college. And like, I'm getting on the bench press and I'm like, ooh, and so, I hurt myself because I didn't know what I was doing and my body had changed. And if you're still doing the same routine that you did in high school, then you need to change, or college or whatever. And so then my friend Kim invited me to come to her. They had a special at her yoga studio, and we did yoga for like 3 or 4 days in a row, and I was doing all these chaturangas, and my God, it hurt so bad when I was doing that with my chest. And so I went to the doctor, and I only see sports doctors because I know that I can say, hey, so I don't rest. I don't take time off from exercise, so let me know how I can fix this problem in my chest without actually stopping exercise. And he was like, well, what happens when you do leg stuff? I said, my chest hurts. What happens when you do arm stuff? My chest hurts. What about when you do cardio? Oh my God, every time I breathe, my chest hurts. He said, yeah, you need to quit. He said, you need to stop everything for at least a few weeks, maybe even a month until I see you again. Okay, give it time to resolve itself. And I died. I said, this package is coming like tomorrow, like 30-minute workouts that I can do every day. Like, I needed to start this thing. I need this. I was so desperate. I was almost in tears. I showed him. I brought I showed him on my phone. Look, this is what I need to be doing. And he was like, you're going to have to start with the nutrition. And so I did. So I started with the nutrition. And portion control alone, it came with these fun little colored containers, which I'm sure you see me using, and the guide and all the stuff. And I had my coach to help me when I freaked out on the first day. And I was like, this is so much food. It was only like 12 to 1,500 calories, but I was not used to this good whole food, and so much of it. And in that first week, and she said, do not weigh yourself until the end of the week. And I didn't. And I lost 6 pounds, and I was like floored. So I went from 150 to 144. And then the second week, I lost 4 more pounds. I was at 140, which was my goal, and I was only 2 weeks in out of the 3-week program. And so I remember I Facebooked. I said, hey, so what do you do when you reach your goal and you still have a week? Do you readjust your goal? And I did. I said, I need 5 more pounds. And then in week 3, I stayed the same, and I freaked out. I was like, why did I stop? And I talked to my coach, and she gave me some tips. And in week 4, I lost a couple more pounds, right? I started it over again. And in week 4, that was when I went back to the doctor, and he said, you can do the workouts now. And I was like, yes. And so I wanted to know what was going to happen when I put the workouts in too. And again, I lost more. And so by the end of 6 weeks, I had lost 15 pounds. And not only that, but I went from a size 12 to a size 6 in 6 weeks. So if you are holding on to something and you were like, I want to start this, and you told me I want to start this, and it's already been 6 weeks, guess what? You could have lost 15 pounds in six sizes already. Like, that's why I follow up with you every freaking day, because I know the change that could happen in such little time. Okay? So what happened is I found all this new self-love, and I found my confidence, and my coworkers saw it. And so they were like, can we do it too? And I was like, yeah. And I went to my coach. I was like, can we set everybody else up? And she said, guess what? I've never seen anybody do as good as you. You are the coach now. They know you. I just started here like 6 weeks ago, or 3 weeks, because it was like 3 weeks in or 2 weeks in that I became a coach. She's like, you got this. You got to help these people. And I was excited. And so I started a team of people, and I had a client base, and I was making money. And I found a hobby and a business opportunity in it, something that made me feel good. And I had never stuck to a diet for more than like 2 or 3 days. So this was huge. And now I had support, and I had friendship, and I saw that this worked. This portion control system worked with my life, because I could move it around. I could still go out. I was eating the chocolate still. I was having my wine when I wanted it, and it was working. And roadblock. The day that I hit 135 pounds, which I have never been again, I went on a cruise with my sister, and I felt really confident. I had new clothes. I did my workouts. Like, I did PiYo on the deck, like, or I don't know what floor that was, but I was doing my PiYo with no equipment to my video. And I was like holding off on some like alcohol, and like just not overdoing it. And at the end of the cruise, because my sister was an actress on the cruise, she was required by her contract to check in, right? To check in and have a weigh-in at the end of each cruise. And so she said, you want to go weigh in with me? I was like, yeah, I think I did really good. And I was shocked when I got on that scale, and it said I had gained 11 pounds. Freaked out. I went home panicking, but I had the tools. I had done it before, and I knew how to lose the weight, and I did. And I took it back off. I didn't take it all off, because then when I got home, I moved on to a new program, right? I didn't want to do that program again. I had already done it twice. And so I moved on to a new program, a muscle building program. And so while I started to lose weight, I then started to gain muscle. When I did this weightlifting program, my back pain that I had still been dealing with for 6 years of back pain, my back pain went away when I started doing the muscle building, the weightlifting, and I gained 10 pounds. I went from 135 back up to 145, and I lost 2 more sizes, and I went down to a size 4, which I have held. I am still a size 4, and guess what? I am now 10 pounds almost heavier, except that no, I'm probably 5 pounds heavier, because I got on the scale the other day. I was like 150, right? I am at the start weight where I was 4 years ago, and I am 8 sizes smaller. My body has turned into a freaking furnace, and I keep trying new things. I try this carb cycling. I try this timed nutrition. I do vegan here and there, and I am like getting it. I have new fitness program that comes out every few weeks. I do a new fitness program, 4, 6, 8, 12 weeks. I'm changing it up all the time, and it's changed my life. I don't work in an office anymore. I do this. I love it. And so I'm like super late for this webinar that I'm going to do. Ladies, I'm hopping on. Tell the team. I see the messages coming through. Where is she? Did I miss it? If you connected at all with this story, and if you didn't watch the whole thing, go back. If you connected, tell me. Comment something for me below. Just throw me a heart just so I knew you watched, right? I see a lot of you on here, Carrie and Heather. And if you were on here and you watched, I want to know. And if you have or have had any of these same struggles, then I want to know. If you want to break the cycle, then I want to know. If you need change and coaching, tell me, please. If you want team and support, like my team that's like, did I miss the thing with Jill? If you want to feel comfortable in your own skin and you have a goal that you want to reach, I can help you get there. And I'm doing that with my new masterclass. And our first one is going to start mid-April. And I'm educating everybody right now with all the info. And that's why I'm going to hop on. If you want to, I'll post the link to my Zoom below. I'm going to hop on as soon as I get off here. Sorry, guys, that I'm like 10 minutes late for everything anyways. Comment below. I want change. If any of that applied to you, I want change, or message me if you're more comfortable with that. And we can chat, we could get you going, and we could get you into my master class. I'm only taking 21 people because I can't like one-on-one mentor more than that. But it's going to be a 30-day thing. I'm going to do these often, but this is my first run. I'm just finishing my coach master certification, and I have so much to share, and you're going to be seeing little pieces of that. I'm going to give a little back end view on my little conference call that I'm doing in a few minutes, and I might record it, so let me know. Oh, there she is. Don't shy away or be afraid, right? I was there. I understand. I'm not a superhero. I still struggle every day. I've gone through what you're going through. And so I want you to reach out, okay? All right, I got to hop off so I can start this Zoom. I don't even know where my computer is. I love you guys. Throw me some hearts, okay? I love you. Bye.